And we give you thanks that we are here today. Again, in the name of our Creator, gracious, holy God. Amen.
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 Is it working now?
Thank you, Dr. Hawkins, and welcome everyone.
Oh.
I will tell you that it is great to see all of you here.
Just working.
And apparently we have many who are joining us virtually all over the world, which is being worked on as we speak right now. That is the joy of technology that we have, and one of the great things about Troop 1 is that we will figure it out. And I'm so glad to see all of you here today. This is the first Eagle Corner of Honor in over 2 years. When you think about when the pandemic first started,
Are you sure it's not working? I don't know.
scouting
That's what I see.
Stop. But if it weren't for the dedication of our
I
youth
guess
leaders
this is
and
different,
our adult leaders, our troop would not
Oh,
exist
can
today.
you say?
And I want to thank all of our volunteers.
I'm gonna
all of
edit
our
this
youth leaders
and make
for
this
continuing
public.
to do Zoom every week, for doing monthly day activities, for doing our first camping trip in the month of May. The troop continues to strive and will continue to push through. And again, it's such an honor to know all of you and realize that it's not one person that does all
Okay,
this.
go to the
I don't do anything. I just am here to provide support and guidance. All of our leaders here, Bob Beaver, Richard, Matt, all of our youth leaders here, they're the ones that make it happen. And it's I who thank all of you for keeping Troop 1 active and alive.
Sorry. Are you
What does it mean to be an Eagle Scout? Eagle is the highest rank in Scouting. It is the goal of every Scout. However, becoming an Eagle is very difficult. It requires great perseverance and effort. Alexander and Liam, this afternoon is a celebration of your accomplishments and the beginning of a new chapter in your lives. It's hard because they're both on each end, so people get back and forth on that. The Eagle Scout Award is a reminder that you've succeeded where many others have failed. Life is a series of challenges, and by becoming an Eagle, you have given yourself a great start towards overcoming other challenges. I take personal pride in seeing both of you reach the rank of Eagle Scout. At this time, if I can ask the 4 Scouts to please come up.
The Scout's Corner used to be special. These keywords violate his honor by killing a live, by cheating, or by not doing exactly a given task. When questioned on his honor, he may be directed to Hanover because a Scout is loyal. He is loyal to all to whom loyalty is due. His Scout leader, his home, and parents and country. The Scout is helpful. You must be prepared at any time to save life, help injured persons, and care to home duties. You must do at least one good turn to somebody every day. A Scout is friendly. He is a friend to all and a brother to every other Scout. Scout is pretty. It's polite to all, especially the women and the weak and humble.
Yeah, so there's a new link.
Scout is kind.
Okay, so here. I can send it to you. I think, do I have your email?
Text it to me.
Can I have your phone number?
A Scout is obedient.
Can I have your phone number?
He obeys his parents,
212.
Scoutmaster, patrol leaders, and all official authorities. A Scout is cheerful. He smiles whenever he can. His obedience to orders is prompt and cheery. He never shirks nor grumbles at hardships. Scout is thrifty. He does not wantonly destroy property. works faithfully, wastes nothing, and makes the best use of his opportunities. He saves his money so that he may pay his own way, be generous to those in need, and helpful to worthy objects. He may work for pay, but must not receive tips or courtesies or good traits.
A scout is brave. He has the courage to face danger in spite of fear, and to stand up for what is right against the coaxing of friends or the jeers or threats of enemies, and defeat is not downward. A scout is clean. He keeps clean in body and thought, stands for clean speech, clean sport, clean habits, and travels with a clean crowd. A scout is reverent. He is reverent toward God. He is faithful in his religious duties and respects the convictions of others in matters of custom and religion.
The Scout Oath reaffirms the Scout's commitment to his three duties: duty to God and country. Your family and religious leaders teach you how to and serve God. By following these teachings, you do your duty to God. Men and women by the past worked to make America great, and many gave their lives for their country. By being a good family member and a good citizen, by working for your country's good and obeying its laws, you do your duty to our country, obeying this Scout Oath, including by its 12 points.
Duty to other people. Many people need help. Serious small and a helping hand makes life easier for others. If you get good turn daily and helping when you're needed, prove yourself a scout and do your part to make this a better world.
I don't have Facebook. I mean,
Duty to self. Keeping yourself physically strong means taking care of your body. Eat the right foods and build your strength. Staying mentally awake means learn all you can. Be curious and ask questions. Being morally straight means to live your life with honesty, to be clean in your speech and actions, and to be a person of strong character. By the power vested in me by the National Council of the Boy Scouts of America, I declare this Court of Honor duly convened for the sole purpose of presenting the Eagle Scout Awards to Alexander Cacciato and Liam Randall. Our Scout Emeritus and Eagle Scout Bob Beaver will now conduct the next part of the ceremony.
A really nice thing is all the Eagle Scouts, people who've earned Eagle Scout that are here in the audience. What I would like is for all those who have earned Eagle Scout, stand up, if you're standing already, stand, bring the two Eagle candidates to the front. Escort the two Eagle candidates to the front. And all the Eagle Scouts escort the Eagle candidates to the front. Look at all these fine gentlemen here. And soon we're going to have some fine lady Eagle Scouts before we know it. Okay, the Eagle escort may retire to their back again. Scouting is no doubt one of the greatest organizations in the world to foster the highest ideals of citizenship. It is little wonder, then, that so many of our nation's greatest leaders had some of their earliest leadership experiences in scouting. One thing remains constant, that the total development from Becker away and many boys stopped short. What does the Eagle Scout badge represent? It means that a scout has set a goal and worked to achieve that goal. The Eagle badge stands for strength of character. The Eagle badge is not only a symbol of what a boy has done, but more important, it represents what that boy will be in the future as he grows into manhood. At this time, I would like to call up a parent of Alexander who will give a short speech. One of the parents? Both. Two for the price of one.
and an honor for Natalie and for me to share some impressions of our son Alexander on his journey to Eagle Scout.
When Alexander started Scouts at the age of 12, we deliberately tried to stay away. We wanted Scouting to be his. As he was preparing for his Scoutmaster Conference for Eagle last summer, Alexander told us that he initially joined Scouts because he thought it would make Richard, himself an Eagle Scout, happy. But over time, Alexander discovered that he really liked Scouts. He enjoyed the activities. He has learned a lot.
From Scout skills like knot tying, fire building, lashing, and his favorite, cooking for over 100 people, to citizenship and personal management, to understanding organizational management, first through helping young Cub Scouts as den chief, then trying to lead and inspire fellow Scouts in his patrol and troop, to learning through his leadership roles in the Order of the Arrow how volunteer organizations work, can be sustained, and thrive.
If you want to get anything done, texts and emails aren't enough. You need to call and talk to people to get them involved. Alexander's made new friends that complement his circles from school, church, sports, and other extracurricular activities.
From time to time, I participate in boards of review for rank advancement. And my favorite question is to ask candidates how they take scouting out of scout meetings and campouts into the real world, and how they observe the scout oath and law in their everyday lives. Our sense is that Alexander takes them to heart and conscientiously tries to live the ideals of scouting in his interactions with others. He aspires to clean and healthy living. He tries to do a good turn daily, whether with people, animals, or the world around him.
He tries to live the values of Scouting in his interpersonal relationships. He is often the peacemaker in tense situations and will point out tactfully when we, as grown-ups, are impatient or less than cheerful and courteous with others. And he encourages us to do better. We are proud when he observes the Scout-like kindness and consideration Alexander shows in his interactions with strangers and friends alike. Observing exemplary adult models in his troop, repeating the Scout pledges at weekly meetings, has had a positive influence on our son.
Scouting has also given Alexander opportunities for growth, connections with others, and world travel that we might never have imagined. One of his earliest leadership roles in Troop 1 was to serve as bugler, which led him to open and close ports of honor for Troop 1. A little piece of trivia. Alexander has the bugling merit badge, which is the least awarded merit badge in Scouts.
As a result, it was long expected that he would serve as bugler for the Eagle Court of Honor for his twin friends from church. They have appointed who are fellow bugling Scouts in a different troop. No one ever would have imagined, though, that just 2 years later, Alexander would also reverently pay taps at the funeral for Leah, who was taken from us too soon.
On a happier note, in 2018, Alexander had the privilege of visiting the International Scout Center in Taunstedt, Switzerland, where Carolyn and I led a group of scouts to reenact an adventure that I had many times when I was a scout. And for the summer of 2019, he arranged a volunteer staff role at a scout camp at Næsby Centre in Denmark, with the primary goal of immersion in Danish language and culture, which he had been studying. Alexander's Eagle Scout project, which was described before, ended up making over 1,000 face masks. And thanks to these international stays, cross-border initiatives, and for getting to know foreign-born scouts at 10 Mile River, the Scout Council's wonderful scout camp in upstate New York, where Alexander's Uncle John went, Alexander has discovered that the World Scouting movement connects him with a global community of individuals who all aspire to the values of scouting.
Finally, in the last 2 years, Alexander's had the honor of being inducted into the Order of the Arrow, serving as Manhattan Chapter Chief and now Pintaquang Lodge Chief. In both of these positions, Alexander's been challenged to meet leadership roles with minimal prior experience, organizing the 100th anniversary banquet of the Order of the Arrow in New York City, and launching a $40,000 fundraising campaign to help keep the power on at 10 Mile River in the midst of the pandemic, which had shut down Scout Camp and as a result, income. Fortunately for him and for the future, Alexander has been taking advantage of the privilege of bird mentoring from lodge advisors.
So I think we'd like to conclude with this. Scouting has been wonderful for Alexander and for Liam and for many of our children. And we're deeply grateful to the leaders of this troop, Andrew, Bob, who showed the example and have dedicated themselves selflessly and dedicated huge amounts of time, as we know, to taking care of our children and inspiring them. And we're so happy to be here, and congratulations, Alexander, and congratulations, Liam, on this wonderful accomplishment.
Now, from Leah, we've got a parent coming up.
Hello everyone, thank you for coming out. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to follow that one, but we'll give it a shot here. I'd like to thank Natalie and Richard for doing a lot of the legwork on this ceremony and getting this organized and done. I know that we didn't contribute that much to it in the end, but I'm happy to thank you.
Contributed him.
So we contributed this.
Liam.
Liam's a little afraid I'm going to tell embarrassing Karen stories up here. And I'm going to skip that and wait. Yeah, you're going to, all right. I'm going to wait till his wedding. But I would like to discuss the impact scouting has had on him over the years. We joined Troop 1 after moving from Florida in about 4th grade. So he was 10, and he was rather distraught when we completely relocated him to a completely different environment, as any 10-year-old would be. Shortly after moving here, though, we joined Troop 1, incredibly welcoming group. They invited us immediately to go to their ski trip. Neither of us ski, but we went up. We had a great time with that. Learned how to snowboard instead, and really made an impact on him joining and embracing New York as a community. I believe that Liam was decided that this was his opportunity to assert himself as his own independent person. And the only scout trip that I was permitted to go on from that point in time were the ski trips. The questions multiple times about my attending camping trips were repeated with the dogged answer of, no, it's all right, I'm good, you don't have to go, but can you drive us there? That answer in question still hasn't changed. Can you drive me there? So I further credit scouting with contributing to his interest in becoming a teacher through the unique leadership of Troop 1, where the kids drive that troop and they do all of the teaching and leadership of the Cub Scouts and the younger scouts. He has learned that teaching is a career interest that he has to pursue forward. It really came down to the way that kids learn in this environment and the different ways that kids can learn that impacted what he wants to do and has become an interest in his future. So I really credit the way this troop is run and how they run to do that. So lastly, I'd like to say a big thank you to the youth scout leadership over the years, and also the adult scout leadership, especially Bob, Denise, Bill, Carolyn, and Andrew, for all they've done. It says that it takes a village to raise a child, and for 10 years, Troop 1 has been this village for us, and we greatly appreciate that. I also want to say that I think the way Troop 1 raises their kids and raises their scouts, as a parent, you have a choice. You can pave the road for your child or prepare your child for that road. And I really believe Troop 1 prepares their children for the road, not the other way around. So for that, I'm grateful and thankful for all that you guys have done. And congratulations to Liam and Alexander. An excellent job.
Carolyn Casey, one of our scout leaders, will come up and make some comments.
Hi, I'm Carolyn Casey. My son, whom you will hear from in a few minutes, is Eagle Scout with the troop, PJ. So I started this journey with my son when he was 7. I was a Girl Scout, which immediately qualified me to be a Boy Scout leader. I'm not sure how. Anyway, I want to say a little bit about both Liam and Alexander. I'm going to start with Liam. Liam was a little bit more, as leaders, we think of these kids a little bit like our children. And Liam was sort of raised with my son because they're similar in age and they came up together. I'm not sure how this happened, but we kind of started calling him Cleum. So he is forever known as Cleum to me. I remember him as that little 10-year-old towhead with that floppy hair, and he was always the first kid to volunteer for everything. You know, he's just incredibly energetic, enthusiastic, and we really appreciated that. I think we probably went through a little bit more turmoil when Liam was in the troop. We had Christmas tree sales, and that was always an ordeal with setting up the stands and, you know, making the kids work hard every holiday season to sell the Christmas trees. And Liam was always there, you know, helping out, doing the best he could to get this sort of impossible situation working. It was an amazing thing that everybody, and the kids really were the ones that were the drivers of that. It was pretty amazing. And as the time went by, the last thing we went on together was the Counter-Strike trip that Richard was talking about. Where he really did kind of step back. I thought it'd be cool to let all the kids who came get a chance of being SPL, and Liam was the oldest, or at least the most experienced scout that we had. So he kind of stepped back and helped the kids along, so everybody got a chance to be a leader, and that was a really cool thing that happened. So I am so proud of him. I still can't believe he's so tall. I mean, he just seems like this little floppy-haired, towhead kid from when I first saw him. So it's hard for me to get past that. But he has become quite a wonderful young man, and I'm so proud of him. So congratulations. Now Alexander came a little later. He came a little older. I happened to be sort of taking a more of an active leadership role when Alexander came in. So for me, he was much more as the younger child, and not as more like a sibling for my son, the way Liam was. So it's interesting that I have a completely different experience with Alexander, and I have to say, Alexander has been, also because it's more current, and I have to say, like with Tim, I've enjoyed the Cacciatos. I find that it's not just, you don't get just involved with the kids. It's really wonderful to get involved with the parents as well, because it is a village and you work with parents. And Alexander has been an amazing leader and a true example of Eagle Scout in these past few years, working very hard with the Order of the Arrow. And I can't really say enough about both of these guys. And I wish the best for Alexander as he is leaving us. This is his last year with us, and he's moving on. So I'm so proud of you as well. It's been an amazing example for all the kids who are in the troop now, and congratulations. I'd also like to bring my son PJ, Eagle Scout, and I'm a mom, and I just have to say, because I can, he's the highest decorated Eagle Scout in Troop 1 history. I just have to throw that in because I got embarrassed.
Oh God. Hello. As my mom said, my name is PJ. I guess you guys know me through my mom, I assume. So, I'm just incredibly blessed to see you guys kind of off, and I'm just glad I was part of your growth. So, I was their SPL back when they were about this tall, not in puberty. So, I think Mr. Nam put it best, is that people behind the scenes don't really get enough credit. Since you guys are both students of history,
you guys see that, you know, people behind the scenes don't really get credit. When I was SPL, I was kind of the face of Team Thunderbird, but they were really my workhorses. I really didn't do too much. Like Mr. Nom said, they were really adamant, and it was especially, they were unique because I was maybe 16, 17, right? Almost legal, about to graduate, go to college. And they were like maybe 13, 14, between that. They rose to the occasion to do a job that I was having trouble with at that age. And I just couldn't be more proud of you guys because you guys really stepped up, and I think the best word to describe you both is donkeys.
Good.
Okay, I hear you.
Thank you, PJ. And now our Scoutmaster and Eagle Scout, Andrew Dom, is going to come up and make a few comments.
Every time I do this, I always joke and say this is my one opportunity to get back at all of them for what they put me through over the last 7 or 8 years. And it was quite a bit. I will tell you, both of them have enriched my life. And when Liam first came into the troop, he was really small. And I thought to myself, he's quiet, he's shy. That's okay. The troop will work with him. He'll develop those communication skills, and we'll work with him. He started growing up and started being more active in our troop. He came to all of our camping trips. He came to all of our ski trips, and it was actually funny. Part of the reason why I really liked him going on the ski trips was because his dad and I both did the snowboard together, and we were both terrible at it. And then over the time, he actually got a lot better than I did. So then I stopped doing it with him. Liam is one of the most patient, mellow scouts. Nothing freaks him out. It's actually very interesting. When things happen in our troop, and a lot of times things happen that don't always go the way we want it to. He doesn't get angry. He's always so mellow about it. He always thinks about it, and actually has good conversations about how to move forward with it. Now, mind you, for a 14, 15-year-old young man, that's really impressive. And then in one summer, he's got more hair than a lot of us combined. He had hair like me. And in one summer, he grew like 2 feet taller than me. And now he's got more hair than all of us. It's impressive. But one of the things I appreciate about him was no situation was out of hand. He always took his time to think about them and solve them rationally.
Can you say it again?
Liam was never panicked when situations happened. He always took the time to think about it, to reason it out, and execute what we think is the best way to move forward. Because part of scouting just doesn't go the way it should. And that's the beauty of scouting, is that you become creative. Like being out here in New York City in Central Park doing this amazing ceremony. The only time I ever saw Liam panic was actually at our 2-week stay at 10 Mile River. And now I'm not going to share the story because I know it's probably the only time I've ever seen Liam panic. Now I will tell you, it involves a bear, but he survived, he made it, and I'm sure Tim and Wendy will share that story at your wedding because it is a